Yeah.
So, UFC Fight Nights wrapped up.
And
Kamaru is back.
I was fucking right. The Nigerian scammer IQ brought it home. The knees that were supposedly going to be told to be non-existent. When I looked at the fight, I was a little bit surprised. His knees were there. There was no invisible space, like you said. You're fucked. And Kamaru dominant. Just a dominant performance by Kamaru. It looked like vintage Kamaru in his prime when he was on a burn, and he's beating some of the greats in the division. That guy looked awesome, and the Nigerian scammer IQ was shown.
It was in full effect.
It was in full effect. He played to his advantages. He didn't stay with Buckley on the feet, and Buckley was foolish for not training wrestling to the caliber and level that he needed, and I think he underestimated how good Usman's wrestling was.
You know what I heard a few people talking about after the fight?
They were saying, the commentators were.
Well, some people were saying too in the 5th round, they're saying, and then he started being able to stuff his takedowns, and it's like it was nothing. It's like, no dude. He was stuffing his takedowns because he'd just been dominated for 4 rounds, and that Kamaru was a little bit tired.
5th round.
5th round.
Yeah.
Kamaru's back in the black, figuratively, literally.
And what a great post-fight speech. That guy, in the last episode, one of the predictions was Kamaru by a dominant performance, and then to have a beautiful Marty Fake Newsman voice crack in the post-fight interview. I was waiting for that. We were looking at each other waiting for it to happen, and it didn't happen. So props to Kamaru.
It was close.
It was close, but it was a great post-fight speech.
It was
that
maybe
guy,
the most real we've ever seen him.
It's the most real we've ever seen him, and it was compelling, and it's just exciting to have that guy back in the win column. I would rather have Kamaru in the win column than Buckley every fucking day of the year.
Now,
he makes the division so much more exciting.
Before we get on to what is next and how that fight played out, just to backtrack a little bit.
Sure.
Did you see that feather fall in the octagon? Because I was right. Cody Chinless Garbrandt. Another loss on the resume. Put it down.
I don't think that was Cody, but I think it was his brother.
Oh, right.
Different.
Yeah, no, dude, it's true. He had a lot more tattoos.
Dude, those fights. Barcelona's never going to be the champ. Good luck to him. He put away a fucking old vet in Cody, and he won. What did he win? 28-27 or 30-27? Whatever.
Tell me that Cody Garbrandt hasn't had the most steep decline
it's been a brutal
out of
decline,
any
bro.
UFC champion ever.
Bro, probably the steepest decline of all time. From Dominic Cruz doing like beatboxing maneuvers like this as he dodged punches, looked like he was fully in the Matrix. In that Dominic Cruz fight, that was spectacular. Would dodge a sort of a flurry of Dominic Cruz's punches, do a breakdancing maneuver, fire back with one right hand, drop him. He was just, dude, in that fight, he was just a magician.
Yeah.
And now here he is with but I think it's the tat, because he's put on too many more tats.
Do you think
I reckon
the ink's poisoning him?
The ink's poison. Something's going on there.
Something's going on.
Anyway, Chinless Garbrandt didn't get it done, but you know what? Barcelona didn't make any kind of a statement, dude. It was
a crafty vet versus an uncrafty vet. That's what it was.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah. Anyway, moving on.
So, Kamaru takes Usman down.
Oh, what a fight, lad.
It was incredible.
It was pretty.
That's the only man who's beaten him. Kamaru.
Ain't on a single leg.
Kamaru takes Buckley down, 1st round. Buckley just didn't have anything for him on the ground.
No answers on the ground.
No
answers for the takedowns. And that first round was even in the first round, it was Buckley doesn't stand a chance. If he's getting taken down that easily, he doesn't stand a chance. And I think he's too much of a vet, former champ, arguably the best or the second best in the welterweight division of all time. You can make an argument that prime Usman may have beat prime GSP. I'd take GSP, but you can make that argument. Usman in his prime was a marauder and still is. And it just felt like as soon as he took him down in that first round, it was just Buckley had zero answers. There wasn't any resistance. It wasn't like there was a scramble. It's not like he stuffed one or two takedowns and was landing the feet. No, it was like first or second shot, Usman got in. He was way stronger, way more technical.
And he didn't let him get his feet
Bro,
underneath
and
him.
punished him on the ground. That first round, landed those hard elbows.
We were talking.
Split that
We
fucking
thought
eye
that
open,
we
dude.
thought the fight might stop from a doctor stoppage
We
because
did.
of the
It was a bit of a brutal cut.
it was a brutal cut, and those are the kind of cuts that can put the eye in jeopardy.
Yeah, it was like it was below the eyebrow, like above the eyelid. That's got to be a brutal cut to get that deep.
That's got to do something to your psychology. You said that in fight, said a cut like that, the feeling of it.
Oh, dude, like you could just blinking your eye and feeling it. And Usman just had this. He had this intensity about him.
And
the
he was
whole
getting
fight.
clipped, man. He got clipped, and he looked rock solid.
He looked rock solid, dude. He just looked great. Looked like prime Usman, who's back,
We
and
have
he
a-
looks
we-
like a champion.
Dude, we have a new Usman. Monkeyless Usman.
Monkeyless Nigerian scammer fight IQ Usman.
Monkeyless Usman is a marauder. This is the Usman 3.0.
Yeah.
Monkeyless Usman, aka
Monkeyless.
also known as Monkeyless Moosin. He's got that monkey off his back,
Monkeyless Usman.
as he said about 17 times in the post fight.
You think he got it off his back?
I mean,
I think he might have got it off his
I
back.
think he got it off his back.
Dude, fucking
Monkeyless Usman's not a man to be trifled with.
He's
So
not, dude. He
the
looked
rest-
so dominant.
the
He
rest-
took Buckley down and he was landing these elbows and he had this intensity about him every round. He wasn't sitting on the stool. He was fucking standing with Trevor Whitman, looking into his eyes.
The
And
welterweight division is on notice.
They're on notice,
They're
bro.
on
The
notice.
welterweight division is on
And
notice.
what a bunch of great fights. I mean, let's be honest. Tell me who here isn't more excited now to see Usman
Match
go
up against anyone.
anyone.
The one thing I want to mention before we talk about the welterweight division is the fact that the judges scored it 48-47 unanimous. These guys are on crack, bro.
It was
They gave 2 rounds to
The
Buckley,
fifth-
3 to Usman.
the fifth,
The fifth was Buckley's.
for sure.
But to give anywhere round 1 through 4 to Buckley is just, it's concerning.
It's very concerning.
It's concerning. And anyway,
Though there are some fantastic fights.
Usman deserved to win that fight. He
Think
came
of-
out. He
think-
just looked better prepared.
Think
and-
about Usman versus Bilal. Think about Usman versus JDM. Usman, and this is my favorite personal one, versus Sean Brady.
Same.
Please, I'd love to see that.
Oh, that's such a good fight, bro. Sean Brady versus Usman is a fucking barn burner.
Oh my goodness.
And you know, Bilal pieced Usman up on Twitter and they got a bit of bad blood going back and forth there, you know, talking back and forth online. That's nice having a bit of bad blood, but Bilal, bro, come on, man.
He put, look,
You
We
know
love
what?
Bilal on
Because
this
you know
channel.
what happens though. You know what may
I'm a
happen.
big fan of Bilal.
We're probably the biggest supporters of Bilal.
In
I
fact,
think we
if
might
you
be.
open this door, there's a big photo of Bilal.
I think
just
we might be his
outside of my sauna.
We might be his number 1 supporters, dude.
Probably.
Yeah, I think we might be. We should change the podcast to like Bilal's fan podcast.
Let's give Bilal his flowers. He did not give up on himself in the JDM fight. That
He didn't, bro, and he was
a
fired. He
fight,
wasn't
and
just
he was
being.
he was in the pocket, dude. He
Yeah,
was getting
he was-
hit, and he
yeah.
was trading, and he was.
It was impressive.
It was
We
a
liked
great
that. It was
fight.
a great fight. And
It was
you know
the best
what?
fight I've seen.
Styles make fights, and when you get 2 wrestlers coming up against one another, they can make absolute barn burners. Think
Yeah.
about Usman versus Colby. Even,
Often they
you know?
won't wrestle, and they'll just.
They
go.
won't wrestle, and they'll just fucking box. It'll just be a boxing match. And I feel like Bilal versus Usman could 100% end up being an absolute barn burner.
Yeah.
Because they're
especially
probably
now.
just going to box.
Think about it. Bilal, chip on his shoulder,
Yeah.
needs to get his title back versus Usman, monkeyless Usman.
Yeah, and
That's-
Nigerian ego.
That is a combination.
That's a great combination.
It's a
That-
great combination.
You know what? That would actually, on paper, if you looked at that fight, you'd be like, oh, Usman, dominant
Anthony
wrestler.
Smith. Anthony Smith did it on paper, Smith. I think I saw him in the corner, bro. On paper.
On paper, you look at that fight, Usman versus Bilal, and you go, Bilal possibly the most dynamic, exciting fighter of all time against Usman, the fucking wrestler, you're like, that's going to be a shit matchup. But I honestly think that it would be a good matchup. Their styles match up to be good. And you know the difference is, Brady is such like a... Brady versus Usman would be a fight for the grappling fans. Because I don't think Brady's not going to stand and bang with him. He's going to shoot again and again and again. And it's just going to be high-level wrestling, bro.
After Brady beat the brakes, took
Beat
the
the
soul
soul
out
out
of Edwards. I just want to see that man on the octagon again. That was...
Edwards, he just fucking squeezed him to death.
That's a fight I don't want to see. Edwards and Usman again.
Fuck
Never again, please.
I don't need to see Edwards fight again, bro. Who does Edwards fight, bro?
Maybe like beat him to Shavkat or
Shavkat's right.
Ian
Gary versus Edwards is good, dude.
That could be a fun
That'd
fight.
be a fun fight.
You know?
Problem is, like, I just feel like Edwards is just gonna stay on the outside, bro. He's just like he's not an exciting fighter.
Yeah.
Bilal's had better fights than Edwards. People just think because he knocked Usman out that he's some fucking dynamic finisher.
Apart
He's
from
not.
that knockout, it's like his
Real ones know
really
he's a decision merchant.
And
he made it. And he made it to the top.
In fact, he actually runs a corner store in Great Britain. And it's called Decision Merchant.
Yeah, he sells decisions.
You go in there, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, bro.
He goes, neither do I, let's leave it to the judges.
He is, bro.
He rinses you for 300 quid.
I don't need to see Edwards fight. I don't need to see Edwards. I'm not that. What I'm excited for is Usman's back. He feels like the champ. He feels like the champ more than JDM. After that fight, Usman feels like the champ of the division. And what's crazy is, I don't even know if Makhachev versus JDM's. I fucking hope that's gonna get booked. It will get booked. That's gonna get booked.
That's 100%.
That is going to be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That fight is gonna be fucking crazy.
But
whoever wins that,
it's an S tier fight.
It's an S tier fight. But whoever wins that, bro, imagine if, let's say, Bilal, Edwards, they can move aside. Brady and Usman fight, and Usman beats Brady, and then fights like Makhachev or JDM. The welterweight division so stacked.
He becomes the welterweight goat.
Usman versus Makhachev at 170 is fucking crazy.
After that performance, we're all excited.
Fucking crazy, dude.
We're all excited.
And honestly, they got similar fight styles.
Mm-hmm.
They got similar fight styles where they got like, people underestimate how good their striking is.
Mm-hmm.
Usman's actually got
because
good striking, bro.
They've got both of them have such dominant wrestling. People.
And you know what else?
On their wrestling.
Usman's right. Like, he needed to get that monkey off his back, bro. And he fucking, to a degree, he was saying in that post fight, like, coming into this fight, I just needed to get a win in the column. And then I'm going to start loosening up, and you're going to see the knockouts flowing and the more spectacular performances. And I believe him when he says that. And looking at that fight, like, that looked like prime, dominant, controlling Usman, but it looked like he's got room to step into some fucking special little back-end era, Volk back-end era.
Little bit of Volk back-end era. A bit of bring back the golden days, the heydays.
Bro, I think...
Give us a couple more fights.
Who do you take? What happens, Brady versus Usman? Who do you take and what happens there?
I can't bet against Brady right now. He just looks like he's a man on a mission. But so did Usman last night.
Bro, Usman beats the shit out of Brady.
Right.
Usman beats the fucking shit out of Brady. Brady looked great against Edwards, but Usman beats the fucking shit out of Brady.
I'm going to do some MMA math here. Let me think. Edwards plus Usman.
That's
Brady plus Edwards.
You can't do that.
Brady plus Usman.
Bilal knocked Brady out. I fucking love Brady. Usman's too good for Brady. Usman is too fast for Brady. Brady is slow on the feet. And Usman's not fast, but he's faster. He's got way more experience and fight IQ. Bilal knocked him out. You're telling me Brady is not going to beat Usman on the feet. Usman is going to beat Brady on the feet.
As good as Usman is, and I got to give him his flowers because he's just won, and he deserves a lot of them. whole bouquet, house full of them. Take him, smell him. He's getting dominated by Brady right now. Brady has got better jiu-jitsu. All Usman knows how to do is did you see the scrambles? Did you see the dog in Brady right now? This is a man who is on a mission. He had this cold look in his eyes the whole time he fought Edwards. Like, he didn't even want to be in the octagon. And he just broke him. He broke him the way that Khabib would break people. He broke him down, and his transitions and his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, Brady's a fucking soul breaker.
Usman's got great wrestling. He doesn't have very good jiu-jitsu. When was the last time he subbed someone?
Bro, but I don't think that's important. Brady,
because Brady has great wrestling and great jiu-jitsu.
Dude, Usman's going to be too good for him. Brady's not. Usman is so fucking hard to hold down. I'm sure he's got some record of least. Who's taken Usman down?
Edwards
took him down. Who else?
It's a good question.
I don't think anyone else has taken him down, bro.
Dude, Edwards couldn't do anything to Brady in the wrestling. Nothing.
Dude, I think Edwards took him down. Did he take him down in the second fight?
Yeah.
First
round, I think.
Dude, I think that second fight, Usman's mind.
He had the monkey on his back.
Dude,
he had a big orangutan. It wasn't just a monkey, dude. This thing was... He had a gorilla.
Usman against Chimaev. If you go and watch that fight, Usman against Chimaev was such a crazy and just impressive wrestling display from Usman. Like, Chimaev came out and gave it everything he had. And Chimaev is a better wrestler than Brady. And Usman survived and nearly beat him and would have beat him over 5 rounds. And I can see...
I think that Brady has got... You can't compare him because Brady has this cardio dog in him. He can break a man.
Such a good fight, dude. That's the fight they got to book. They got to book Usman Brady. That's the fight they got to book.
I think I've heard down the grapevine that it may be Brady versus Ian Gary. Potentially. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Fair play to Gary, bro. He never backs down from a fucking fight, that
guy. He takes a lot of heat. He takes a lot of heat for his wife and his diet and everything, but man, that man's a dog.
He's a fucking dog. He fought Shavkat. He fucking fought Praetos. Like, dude, he just takes on the killers. And he had a run where people were like, a bit like O'Malley, right? He's a bit like O'Malley. It was like O'Malley's this stylish, flashy knockout artist, and he's got 5 wins in the category, and he fucking puts away Sean Wineland with a walk-off KO, and he fucking puts out a couple other cans, and you're like, yeah, he's stylish, he's got some personality, but he's not gonna hang with the greats of the division like a marauding Peter Yan or a fucking Aljo. Even Aljo when he was dominant, like when he had the rematch against Peter and just fucking beat him up for 5 rounds. And it's like, people were like, Aljo's not gonna...
Or Aljo versus Cejudo.
Aljo versus Cejudo, dude. Everyone was like, what's his name? O'Malley's not gonna be able to hang with the top. Yeah. Like, he's just a flashy knockout artist who's not gonna be able to do it. And he went up against Peter Yan. Yeah. And then he fought another motherfucker. And another motherfucker. Became champ. Defended against Cheeto. Beat the fucking shit out of Cheeto. Yeah. And it's like, I can see Gary just proving motherfuckers wrong again and again. But the welterweight division is way more stacked than bantamweight. The welterweight division is way more stacked. And Gary's not that big for welterweight, bro. Usman's way bigger.
There's a lot of killers.
Bro, I could see Brady breaking Ian Gary. I could see him breaking him.
Brady. We've got Shavkat, Usman, JDM. Makachev coming into the mix.
Praetos is in there.
Praetos is. I felt like his hype was a little derailed by
Gary.
But no shame in that.
No.
Who else is in welterweight right now? There's more people in there.
Bilal,
of course.
It's stacked, dude. Even Leon Edwards, dude. He's a former champ.
You
got a former champ in there. But yeah,
Edwards can beat anyone on any given day if he gets the right fight.
He can beat anyone.
Unless the name is Sean.
by 28-27.
By
Yeah, welterweight's looking pretty stacked. Awesome to have Usman back. Nice to have him in the win column. Nice to have him with a quality post-fight speech and no voice breaks. He looks locked in. He looks ready to go.
He seemed less cheesy in that.
Yeah, dude, he used to be
like,
cringe as fuck.
There used to be
Usman
like
used to
feel like Usman was putting on affectations.
It was painful.
It was painful. He'd be like he'd kind of change his voice a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
He didn't seem like that.
No,
He seemed
honest,
authentic,
Yeah,
monkeyless.
yeah.
That's what we want to see.
Yeah, and like just it was good. It was good. It was a good fight. So welterweight's looking stacked at the moment, and there's a lot of banger fights coming up for welterweight.
I'm excited for it. I'm there for it.